Welcome to Director Pepper Social Club on the Daily Parks and Rec Show, where parks and recreation leaders share ideas, experiences, and leadership insights. Today, we're bringing you an inspiring conversation filled with lessons, strategies, and stories that make a difference. Every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where leaders connect and grow. In this episode, Beau Davis shares his journey, leadership lessons, and the power of teamwork in parks and recreation.
Hey, good morning, everybody. It is 9 o'clock here in California. I'm Papa J. Skinner from the Director Pepper Social Club. So glad you joined us this morning. I have a great guest, and we're going to get into that in a minute. But people ask, where does the Director Pepper Social Club come from? Well, it actually is a story. It started in 2019. This picture you see right here, these four gentlemen, three gentlemen and me, but across from me is Kevin Hawkins. Kevin Hawkins was the director of Parks and Recreation for the city of Temecula. And he called me and he says, hey, back then I was just Skinner. Hey, Skinner, listen, I want to get us together, directors together, for us to get a chance to talk to each other because, we only get to talk during, CPRS or NRPA. So I want to get us a chance to get together so we can, not only talk about work, but talk about personal, because we spend more time with the people at work than we do at home. So sure, we called a couple of our colleagues to go to lunch, Black Bear Restaurant in Murrieta. So Kevin showed up first. He ordered a Dr. Pepper. I show up, unbeknownst to him, I love Dr. Pepper, so I ordered one. The gentleman to Kevin's left is Jonathan Nix, who worked for the city of Menifee. He shows up, orders a Dr. Pepper. And then Brian Ambrose, the city of Murrieta, showed up and he ordered a Dr. Pepper. And thus, April 4th, 2019, the Dr. Pepper Club was formed. Since then, we've joined a bunch of other municipalities. We actually had over 20 that would show up on a periodic basis. In the beginning, we're about once a month, every other month. Then it started to spread from there. But yeah, 20 organizations that we got together to sit around and talk about work, but also talk about the personal life. One of the things Kevin wanted to start off with is, how are you and how are you doing? So we got to know each other, became really close friends, and we're still friends to this day. So Craig LeBlanc from DPRS said, hey, Papa J, heard you're retiring in a couple months. I'm interested in hearing about the Dr. Pepper Club, and I think it'd make a great podcast. And thus, the Director Pepper Social Club was born. So very excited about being part of the DPRS organization. We have a couple of infomercials in the beginning of the show right now. So Carlo, go ahead and play those. We'll come back. Got some other things to take care of, and then we'll get to our guests. So go ahead and take it away, Carlo.
Art has the power to transform spaces, to inspire communities, to tell stories that connect us to one another. Across parks, public spaces, and gathering places around the world, creativity is bringing people together in new and meaningful ways. From murals and sculptures to music, dance, theater, and cultural celebrations, the arts help turn ordinary places into extraordinary experiences. Because Parks and Recreation isn't only about facilities and programs. It's about creating places where people belong, places where culture thrives, places where imagination comes to life. Welcome to Arts in Parks and Rec, the show that explores the people, projects, and creative ideas shaping the future of arts and culture in parks and public spaces. Hosted by Beatriz Eugenia Vázquez. Together, we'll discover how the arts strengthen communities, inspire engagement, and help create vibrant places for everyone. This is Arts in Parks and Rec, a DPRS Media Network original, where creativity meets community.
Not every mission happens behind a desk. Some happen in the places where our freedom is defended. This is the front line, where service meets reality, readiness requires resilience, and impact is measured in people, not headlines. We talk with the men and women who support our military communities, the leaders, responders, and recreation professionals who create spaces where service members and their families can recharge, connect, and stay strong. From fitness and recreation to community programs that strengthen the total force at home and abroad, we share the stories, the challenges, and the purpose that keeps them going. Welcome to On the Front Line, the Military Rec Show, hosted by John Prue. Real people, real stories, real service. This is where it begins.
Oh, thank you so much, Carlo. You see, Beatrice and John Prue's shows. We have, go ahead and bring that up too, Carlo. We have about 20 podcasters that he has Monday through Friday, starting first thing in the morning all the way to late in the afternoon. Here's our sheet of podcasters that shows you their different shows. They're available online if you go to the Daily Parks and Recreation Show, the Daily Park and Rec Show, either on LinkedIn or Facebook. We're actually on YouTube as well, but you'll see all the different ones that are there, and we're growing every day. One of the things we're trying to do, and we're actually doing it thanks to you, is getting on YouTube and showing the show live on YouTube. So we're asking for 1,000 subscribers. We're well over 700 plus that are on there. And so once we get to that 1,000 subscribers, not only will we be able to see it on YouTube and Facebook live, but you'll also be able to see it on, you'll be able to see it on LinkedIn and Facebook, but then you'll be able to see it on YouTube live when we get to over 1,000 subscribers. So bring it back, Carlo. So very, very excited about the guest that we have today. As you know, I used to work for the city of Lake Elsinore, started in 2014, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And at that time, I was a new director to the city and had the opportunity to start building the organization. At the time, they only had a couple of people there, but I was able to hire my right-hand person that has been with me since 2014. He's a fellow Texan and went to different schools, but a fellow Texan and a great father, a great mentor, and a great teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, the world famous Beau Davis. Yes, I don't have my machine yet. I'm waiting for to get that per diem from Craig to go ahead and buy that machine. So how you doing today, Beau?
I'm doing well. I feel like there should be confetti and sparkles, but we'll get there. I know this is still early in the show's kind of history, but I can't wait to come back in a few years and see all those special effects.
Oh my goodness. Well, as you heard, Beau came to the city, and I was very fortunate. We're actually able to build a department together, going from 3 to 4 staff to we had as many as 17 full-time staff, 17, 18 full-time staff. And there have been some changes over the last 11 years, but it's been really great. So, Beau, how I start the show each time is I tell people that, hey, I'm a Marvel, more of a Marvel, though I missed the movie last night, person, DC. But we talk about the origin story about the superhero, and those are the ones that make things happen. So for the 9 listeners, actually we have 3 on the show today. There's you, me, and Carlo. So there's 3 of us. So do me a favor, take as long as you want. Talk about the origin story of Beau Davis from when you first started in school to where you're at now.
Yeah, I do know that you love the superhero movies, those sci-fi, and I've tried to get into them a few times based on your recommendations. They're really good, and you're right. Everything has an origin story. As I've watched some of these shows and think about, like, gosh, then what is my origin story? And it seems kind of cliche or trite in a way that, it's also started when I was young, right? Parks and Rec has affected the fabric of so many people's lives, and they may not even realize it. And that's kind of my story as well, right? Playing in municipal, recreation leagues, classes, but kind of started back in Southern Louisiana. I spent a couple of years there as a family, and it was working as a scoreboard, operator for basketball leagues, chain gang for the youth football. Getting paid $5 a game or something like that. Didn't realize, oh, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. So kind of did that, got involved in other kind of municipal programs throughout it. But then I really started thinking as I graduated high school, was entering college, and I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. And my dad gave me the best piece of advice ever. He said, what do you love doing most? And how do you make money doing it? And I was like, yeah. So I started thinking about it, of course. And one of the things I grew up doing as well is it's big in Texas. It's big all over the country, but not so big in California, but it's residential summer camps, right? So you go away, sleepaway camp, you're there for a couple of weeks and sometimes longer. And I was a huge residential summer camp guy. I loved going to the summer camp. Started working at them in the summers in college, trying different things, different camps, Wisconsin, Florida, Northern California. And I realized, you know what? I'm going to make some money doing a summer camp. I'm going to be a director of a summer camp. Maybe I'll open my own one day. And ended up meeting a person at a summer camp, and she was telling me about, hey, there's a Parks and Recreation degree at Texas A&M. And at the time, I was just in a little community college, making my way through the ranks. And I was like, that's a great idea. Applied, got a bachelor's in Parks and Rec from Texas A&M, and set my focus on, I'm going to work and run a summer camp. And did that for a couple years after college, out in a small little town, West Texas. It's the greatest summer camp ever. I grew up going there. And I'll shout out to the Prude Ranch. And Fort Davis, Texas. It's still an amazing place. If you ever get to West Texas, definitely visit Fort Davis. But did that for a couple of years, and I realized, you know what? A small town, there's not a lot to do for a young 20-year-old. I said, where else do you recreate? Where can Parks and Rec thrive? And of course, it thrives nationally. I'm not shaming anyone in South Dakota that might be watching this show one day. But it's hard to compete with Southern California, where you can ski and surf and do all the things in a matter of an hour, 2 hours drive. So I set my sights on Southern California, made it out here in a town just south of Lake Elsinore for a few years, and then got blessed to be able to get offered a job by you. And the rest is history. The city of Lake Elsinore has grown. It's a tremendous community. I know it's not really about me, but man, I'm not even blowing smoke. Like, I just love the community of Lake Elsinore. The people are just so thankful for anything they have, and they're appreciative. They're all in on numerous programs. We were just talking before the show started about our concert series last night. Everyone hosts free concerts, and it's a really great way to showcase the community, give something back. Our council is super supportive. Our city manager, executive leadership, super supportive of these concerts, and the community is where, you were in attendance last night, and there's 2,000-3,000 people there at our RV resort. And it's just, it's a beautiful backdrop. And so, yeah, that's what's brought us back here today. And just talking about how much I love this community. You experienced it, and it really is a special place here in Lake Elsinore. I'm excited that the origin story has brought me to, you know, one of the chapters, you know, in this career, in this, you know, superhero story. But I'm excited about being here, and then today getting to spend some time with you and just shooting the bull and talking about Parks and Rec and what makes the world go around.
Well, yeah, it has been a pretty great journey that we've had together. Carlo, could you play that video that I sent you about the team that we were able to create? Some of you might have seen it on the link on my LinkedIn or my personal page, but if you go ahead and run that real quick, it's a really short one of
Oh boy.
our team. So this one we it started with, I can't remember who started it, but they did a caricature of themselves, and Beau and I believe a lot in celebrating our team, and so each one was charged with making their own basically animated picture themselves. Oh, Jason Hendricks, there he is. What's up, buddy? Jason Hendricks from Arizona. He was a Californian many years ago, and then he went over to Arizona. He's doing some great things over there. So thanks for tuning in, buddy. So
yeah, I saw him a few weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got to watch the shows. I'm a subscriber too. Come on, I'm one of the thousands.
There we go. People. See, now I told you. I put everything into a Marvel kind of thing. So we call Beau Captain America. They call me Nick Fury. I'm the guy behind the scenes. I want to make sure that our team has the goods and the wherewithal to get things done. Little unknown fact. Well, some people know the fact about Beau and I. We share several different things. We share being Aries because we're both born in April. But something some people don't know is he's exactly 20 years and 1 week younger than me. So we whenever we have milestone birthdays when we're working together, he would celebrate it the first week in April 8th, correct?
That's right.
And then mine's April 15th. So we share that, and it's a lot of fun. So this show is actually.
I mean, I sorry to cut you off. I think it took us like 9 years to even realize that.
Exactly. We're celebrating. It's like,
sad.
Wait, when you were born, I was born in '63. I was born. So yes, it's really great. I got to see Beau and Melissa's family grow with the kids and everything. But we'll get into that a little bit. So the first picture I want Carlos to bring up, if you can bring up the one with Beau at the District 11 meeting. So Beau and I believe, you guys know, I believe in celebrations a lot, and really about the team themselves and not really about me, because if you surround yourself with good people, good things happen. This year, at the beginning of the year, I was able to submit Beau for an award, a professionals award. Go ahead and flip it to the next one, Carlo. So Beau was on this list of professional service award, and there's out of the entire state of California, actually District 11, there's several different agencies that are there, and only certain people are selected each year. And this year it was Beau. I call him Beau Tiberius. It's not Tiberius. He's actually Timothy Beau Davis. But we wanted to select Beau for this award that he well deserved. If you go to the next picture, it's Beau and myself and his lovely bride, Melissa. We went to, where did we go? It was
Fontana.
Fontana, California is just north of us, and we were up there. I'm walking around, and I had just received the
Hall of Fame.
induction into the Hall of Fame from CPRS. But they were more interested in Beau than they were me, and I thought that was really, really incredible. If you go to the next picture, you wasn't able to see this, but this was Beau's caricature. As you can see, he's an active guy. He loves the outdoors. He loves to hunt. I'm trying to get him onto the fishing part of it. But with me being gone, he's going to have to be an angler. So this is a picture of our annual kids fishing derby, and the wonderful thing is Beau would bring his kids along. I love that Beau has the kids call me Papa J. So when they see me, they come up and give me a hug. And when you have that kind of camaraderie at work, it makes it a great place to work. And it's not really work when you have that kind of camaraderie. One of the things that happened there, it was a big surprise for me. I'm about celebrating other people, but Beau surprised me while we were there. And he said, well, this is Jonathan's last event, Papa J, and he really loves the kids fishing derby. And it's something that he really looks forward to. And then out of the blue, he go ahead and go to the next one. They created an award. Talk about this award that you created for me. I have it in my living room. I see it every day, but talk about this award that you did.
Yeah, I mean, and I honestly, you talk about team a lot and celebrating. There's so many things to hit that you've already kind of glossed over a little bit. I mean, the Professional Service Award is a great honor, and super appreciative of District 11 and the hosts of Fontana and Daniel Snyder and his team. It's really fantastic. You nominating me. There's amazing people in District 11. I mean, far greater than anything I feel like I've ever accomplished, and these people are just killers in the industry. So shout out to District 11. They really are some awesome, fantastic people. And just before I get into your award and the origin story of that, if you will, if you're not involved in your local kind of group, which admittedly I have never been, I've always kind of put it as a second priority. But I've realized over the years, man, how important that is. And so if you're not involved, I just highly recommend get involved, especially if you're a young professional without a family. It makes it a little bit easier. It gets harder as you get through your career. So I just wanted to put that out there to everyone. I mean, if this is supposed to be encouraging people to aspire to that level and get there, I really recommend you do that. Connect with others. Be involved, serve on your local committees, and then, move up on the ranks. So wanted to put that out there. But yes, the Jonathan Skinner Hooked on Community Award, the origin story of that is you love to celebrate the team, and the team wants to, extend that same celebration to others, and especially you. And it was really an idea that was sparked by our coordinator, our senior special events coordinator, Melissa. She's just an outstanding individual. She's, there's just that woman's touch. No offense to the guys out there, but women have that knack and that touch of recognizing things a little bit easier and knowing the right way to do things. And so she came to me with this idea, and our senior management analyst, Ben Foster, who is also in that picture, and it's hey, I got this idea, I want to do this. I'm I love it. Let's do it. Hooked on Community, perfect. We'll do it here, we'll do it there. And then a great vendor within the city of Lake Elsinore, who she's been super supportive in so many ways, Tulips, Trophies, and Treasures. And she developed this amazing piece. And I'm glad you love it so much, because we really think it's a beautiful piece, but it will just help tie in everything that you've done to contribute to expanding fishing. And yes, I'm not a great angler. Jonathan loves to razz me about, and my son, the younger one in that photo, how I was rushing time trying to rig up 3-rod and reel combos for my kids that morning, and did a shoddy job at tying a hook on for that son. And sure enough, he landed a little wiper. He's reeling it in, and we see it, and the knot just slips out. And so Jonathan doesn't let me live it down. My 7-year-old doesn't let me live it down. And rightfully so. My grandmother, God rest her soul, she's looking down saying, I told you how to tie a knot. Like, how did you mess that one up? But, we weren't hooked that well on it. We were hooked on that fish, but not tied well. But you were definitely hooked on community. And it's just a token of the appreciation of the staff, the department. And I truly feel like when we were giving that to you, the community felt like a part of it, especially that kids fishing derby, those people who come year after year, they felt that energy as well. And that like it was super deserving. And yeah, we were happy to give it to you.
Well, thank you for that. Carlo, go ahead and bring it back. We were talking yesterday. We were talking this morning before we got on the show about a concert series that actually Beau and our their special events manager, Giovanni Huerta, came up. Oh, we got people coming all the time. Hey, Wes, dude, we'll be seeing him in about a half hour after our show. He's got a show called Gina Mazzapica. Man, thank you guys so much. Now, some of these people are not recreators, so it's really important that if you want to find out about recreation, you tune in to DPRS. Look, always making a shameless plug. We have so many different shows, but the concert series, why don't you go ahead and talk about how the concert series got started and some other things that were able to grow out of that as well.
Yeah, so part of Lake Elsinore's story is Lake Elsinore refurbished and renovated an old RV park that was deeded over to the city in the 90s, I believe it was. It started in the 50s from the state of California, a state recreation area. And in 17, the city broke ground, but it had been a long process from around Jonathan's onboarding here within the city. Excuse me. And then, so 17 to 19, it opens, and then we took over as a department. I was out there late 19, and then as COVID hit and some changes had to be put in place, our recreation department, community services department at the time, got sent out there, and that was our role from 2020 until late last year in 25. And when we were there, we're always looking at ways to let people know that we're there, what's going on at Launch Point. And mid 2020s, we hired a great promoter, energetic individual, highly connected, and former broadcast journalist, Golden Mike winner, Giovanni Huerta, as our special events manager. And the guy has energy like for days, like you can't stop him. And he had this idea like, hey, you know what? Let's do some concerts. Let's do it at Launch Point. It originally was like on the beach at another park, and we're like, hey, we got Launch Point. Let's get it out there. Let's get people in the gates, see this big open grass area in the Yurt Village. And it took off. The first show was a massive success. And I remember thinking, right, like the RV Resort's a business. I'm like, oh yes, it's a business. All right, hey, we got these people. Let's capitalize. Let's try and charge. And our city manager was so insightful at the time. He's like, no, like we're not going to charge. This is for the community. This is something different. But yes, we're marketing the resort. So it's a cool way to market the resort, give back to the community, give them access to this amazing facility that drives economic development there on that corridor. And it's really just blown up from there every year. It just keeps getting bigger, awesome bands. It's a big collaborative approach, multiple departments working and supporting and executing that event. And so Live at the Lakefront, it's a really cool event. It's a concert in the park, but just has a slightly different vibe where you're at, really close to the shoreline. I mean, Southern California is beautiful, and I might be biased in saying it, but Lake Elsinore at a sunset, at sunrise, all the time is one of the most beautiful places in California. And so Live at the Lakefront, it's got the best backdrop of any concert in the park. And It's killing it out there. And that was our last concert last night. We did 5 this year in July, every Thursday in July, and then we have a little bonus show under a different moniker, Boots in the Sand, on August 8th. So next Saturday, August 8th, Boots in the Sand. It's a 3-band country tributes with Shania Twain tribute, Lainey Wilson tribute, and Luke Combs tribute. So we're excited about that concert next Saturday.
Yeah, the thing, Beau's really shy about taking credit for a lot of stuff, but he did an amazing job. When we were going through COVID, when everything shut down, Launch Point did not shut down. We talk about Parks and Recreation being an essential service, and this guy on the screen with me is one of those essential people. Several times we had to open up care and shelter facilities, and we had to work with it was an honor to work with the school district. And through Beau's knowledge we've both been through various emergencies in our careers, but it really came to fruition when we had to open a care and shelter over at the local high school, Temescal High School, when we had the fires, and people were displaced. And if it wasn't for community services at the time being able to have that coordination of the recreation part, but also the care and shelter, the logistics. Beau is actually a division head when it comes to care and shelter and the emergency plan, and did an incredible job. But we were able to have Launch Point never closed. We were able to have people come and camp. We were a location where the traveling nurses would go and take care of people in the area. But we were one of those locations in recreation that never closed. So right now we're going to take a little break because we have our mid show sponsors. So after that, we'll come back and carry on with Beau and our conversation. Take it away, Carlo.
In today's parks and recreation industry, communication, safety, and efficiency go hand in hand. That's where Outdoor Link comes in, delivering smart technology that empowers city departments and community planners to do more, smarter. Outdoor Link's platform connects and automates everything that keeps your parks running smoothly, from lighting and locks to signage, water features, Wi-Fi, and digital advertising. Control and schedule park lights for safety and energy savings. Remotely manage facility access. Coordinate fountains and splash pads. Provide public connectivity. All from one simple, unified platform, giving you real-time control, data, and cost efficiency. For parks and recreation agencies, that means safer spaces, smarter resource use, faster responses, and stronger community engagement. And behind every great park story is great infrastructure. That's why Outdoor Link proudly supports DPRS Media Company, helping the Daily Parks and Rec Show amplify the voices of professionals shaping our communities every day. Outdoor Link, smart, connected solutions for parks, recreation, and beyond.
They say it's Just Rec. Just Rec, where kids learn to try again. Just Rec, where confidence begins. Where teamwork, effort, and fun matter more than trophies. It's not about perfection. It's about participation. It's not just rec. It's where kids learn to love the game and themselves. It's just rec until they learn teamwork for life. It's just rec, but it's everything to them. It's more than rec. It's a movement. It's just rec until you realize it's shaping the next generation. Together, we're not just running programs. We're building a culture of confidence, connection, and community. Join us.
All right, thank you for that. So the first one was Outdoor Link. If you guys are fans of DPRS and some of our shows, Smart Parks is Dave Ramirez, who brought on Outdoor Link as a sponsor. If you have a facility, and we use a different system over in Lake Elsinore, but
For now.
for now, yeah. So he's always looking. So for instance, many times Beau has had a call in the middle of the night or a text in the middle of the night. Hey, Beau, the lights are not on. With Outdoor Link, you're able to go ahead on your phone, control the lights, lock up your buildings, and keep your facilities, pristine and service the community. So Outdoor Link is a great sponsor, and Dave Ramirez. The other one is Youth Sports Mastery. That's Aaron Locks. He just had a birthday. Happy birthday. Oh, and so did John Prue. But a lot of communities want youth sports, but they don't have an organization that can come in and run it. Youth Sports Mastery with Aaron Locks, he's able to come in and actually give you a turnkey program. If you don't have staff, he actually has staff that can run it for you. If you're looking for a way to start your own, he can help you with that. And he has Youth Sports Mastery. He actually has 2 shows on a week. So the guy is really busy in addition to doing Youth Sports Mastery. So one of the things that we have that this show is about leadership. And well, I want you to talk on your leadership abilities and what you do with staff. I mean, I personally know it, but I think it's really great on how you empower the team to, as our old boss used to say, Jason Simpson used to say, give an opportunity to fail forward. But talk about some of the leadership opportunities you've given to staff and how they've achieved.
Yeah, I think most of that is focused on what do people feel passionate about. I mean, we can all do the nuances of the job, but when you start seeing the best growth is when people are doing something they feel most passionate about. And so if you can have a relationship, you get to know someone like we have over the years, and you can start tailoring some of their duties or some extra duties to that passion, and you'll see an extreme success through that. Like we have a supervisor who's a physics graduate, applied physics, and he's a recreation supervisor. I mean, the young man, he just has a knowledge that's just firing all the time. And so he's really grown our STEAM program, drones and robots, and then he's parlayed that with a coordinator who's also very passionate and energetic about science, exploring things. He's got petri dishes on his desk of lake water and different matter, and that's like growing these sub aquacultures. And so then that is kind of exuded to the participants of the program, and it becomes a bit more successful because of that. And I think the other way too, as a leader, is like you have to know what people are doing on like a real tangible level. Like you need to be in there at some point in your career knowing what's going on. And I'm currently getting into some nuts and bolts of like accounting and our invoicing and payment processing, and something I've never really done. But if I'm working with our administrative team and they're speaking a language, I need to know how to speak that same language back to them. And the only way you know how to do that is if you kind of immerse yourself into it. You don't need to do it every day, but I think as a leader, you need to know what everyone's like primary tasks are. And even if it's something you haven't done, then you need to get into it. And so I've been diving deep into that payment system. I know that the outside of it, the approval part of it, but not the real nuts and bolts of it. So having meetings with our administrative services team, having meeting with our internal administrative team here within the recreation department, getting to know what they do will really help you lead and understand, speaking the same language, understanding what they're going through and how they're experiencing, and maybe then giving some of your insight to the process or trying to find ways to improve. But I think spending time in every location for more than just a quick, hey, how's it going here at the senior center? I was blessed to work at the senior center for about a year while we were transitioning to a new staff. Got to know a lot of the seniors there, and Some have left us, unfortunately, but they still hold fond memories in our hearts and minds, and all the new ones that are coming through, and some that are still there that love to give me hugs and get updates. I mean, they knew me with no kids, and now they know me with 4 kids. So it's making those like real efforts to get into each facility, not just to say hi. Or in a department level meeting, but just to really immerse yourself into each section will help you as a leader to really relate and have that like real clear understanding of what's going on.
Well, that's so true, and it's an old saying was back in the day was lead by walking around, going to a facility, and actually, Bo and I are cut from the same cloth as far as when you're talking about whether it's live at the lakefront, whether it's Winterfest, which is the biggest event in Lake Elsinore with 10, 15, maybe 17,000 people of our 17,000 of our closest friends, as we say. If you're watching the prelim 6 months earlier, Bo is holding meetings with the team with Missy and Giovanni the day of. Bo's there at 7 o'clock in the morning with the staff, putting together a stage, and then he's there at the end of the day making sure that the council is taken care of, that staff are taken care of, making sure they're fed, because they're giving of their time, they're away from their families, so they're making sure those things happen. One of the things that I love is being able to do trainings and do sessions, and Bo has taken that on with some staff. So you talk about D11 and CPRS, and they're a great organization. You've done a couple of different trainings with them. Why don't you talk about your trainings? And I love the one, the first one you did, the poop one.
Yeah, we all know not everything's gonna fit in the right box, right? Like sometimes stuff hits the fan, and it's like, what do you do, and what's like a good way of accomplishing it? So we've created an acronym CRAP, and and going through that on how to like really assess what steps you need to take to get through that crappy situation. And so, yeah, I think it's less about really the information. I mean, the information is helpful, and I hope people that attend these sessions understand that, okay, like it doesn't matter which way you do it, whether you use a CRAP acronym or you kind of figure out your own path forward. But it's really about slowing down, understanding the situation, and then just working as a team. And you only have that team if you build them through, just regularly investing into each other with like genuine time, genuine conversations, genuine openness. You'll be able to get through anything. But I think these sessions, it's more important that you're there fully present, hearing from the individual, taking what you think is most important out of it, and then connecting with those sitting next to you, because you're not going to get through this life alone if you think you're going to be that lone survivor and you can do it all by yourself. You're going to burn out. You're going to fizzle out. Now, I've experienced that. I admittedly have taken on projects like, no, don't. I'll do it. I'll take care of it. And then you just burn out, and you're exhausted mentally. You're exhausted for your family, for your team at work. And so it's most important that you lean in on those other people. You utilize those coordinators and supervisors and managers to really understand those frontline part-time staff. Like we would be nowhere as a department without the dozens and dozens of quality part-time staff that have come through our doors and now gone on to other careers, whether it's in the industry or not. Without them, we wouldn't be where we're at. So investing in them, utilizing those skills and knowledge. I think those are the most important things, is just really creating those relationships.
Yeah, and to echo that, what Bo has done is there's a young man by the name of Steve Lennox Wilson, who was a part-timer. Bo was able to rally into a replacement spot because we were able to promote up. And Lennox really took the leadership ability that he learned from Beau and the rest of the team, and he started to do trainings. Started with his staff, and then he went on to do trainings. Do it for D11, or just he did it for some different organizations as well too, or different agencies.
Yeah, surf and turf, and I think to our currently we're a department of 10 full-time staff, and I'm just quickly thinking in my head, there's six individuals that started within our department as a part-time staff member that are now either full-time and a supervisor, coordinator, senior coordinator, different roles. So I'm really impressed with that. It's funny, I just saw the city to the south of us, the city of Temecula, had posted on their social media. They have a new city manager. They appointed a new city manager because theirs is retiring. Their current one is retiring in a few months. And their new city manager started with Temecula as an intern. And they did this highlight video of all these different full-time, like pretty high-ranking city employees that had started as an intern. And now they're out there. So it just goes to show, when you invest in the people that are already in your agency, like that agency will thrive a bit more because you really understand from the ground floor up. And I'm not saying hiring out is bad. Hire out. If you find someone that has a skill, I mean, you hired out, right? Like the city hired you out, like things that serves a role, do that. But when you can identify someone in your agency and you can invest in them, oftentimes it reaps incredible rewards.
Yeah, I'm really
And
big
Steve's
on
one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm really big on leaving an organization better than when you started, and to give the management an opportunity to hire within whenever possible. So giving them the 5 W's, the who, what, when, where, why, to success, to make things happen. This I call this, whoever is on the show, this is the Beau Davis show. I'm probably one of his biggest cheerleaders besides his family and his kids. But Beau came to me several years ago with an idea. He said, "Hey, Papa Jay, listen, the school district has money available to do after school programs. And why don't you tell them the story about Excel, of how you got the team together and created that?"
Yeah, it really was. There's a need, and the school district knows that what we do is quality work, and so they understood that, hey, this team could probably pull it off, and sure enough, we did. We started like a half a semester, doing just a few schools, and a lot of times it was our full-time crew. We're still coming out of that COVID, building up programs again, transitioning away from primary RV resort operations, getting a team settled there. And so we started with 3 schools, after school program. We really did a fantastic job according to ourselves and the students in school district. And every year that's incrementally increased to where they're asking for more of us than we can even provide. I mean, we're trying to hire 22 frontline staff right now. Excuse me. And that's even a challenge, right? You're trying to give people a $25 an hour job, 22 of them, and it's actually a challenge right now. But we have a great team, supervisor team that's like hitting the ground running and recruiting. So we're gonna get there, but every year it's growing, and the school district wants more, and we're just trying to eat that elephant one bite at a time and get into the size that eventually that will be capped out. But the Excel program is a huge success for our department in the city, not just because what we're gaining as far as like quality employees and the financial resources with that to expand the programs, but what we do in these after school programs is kind of like an incubator for what we want to do in our own facilities for our community. So it's been a good testing ground, proving ground, and then that's what's rolled out programs like our drones and robotics and stories and creations and those sorts of programs. So if you can partner with a local agency, I highly recommend it. Getting into the schools, we're trying to start an esports club with a number of the middle schools, and then doing that within our own departments, facilities. So yeah, the Excel program's been awesome. We love it. LAUSD, they're a fantastic partner with our department and city. So we look forward to continuing to grow with them.
Yeah, it's true about Lake Elsinore. I called us the city of reuse, because when money's tight and you have facilities that, in a perfect world, you might demolish it and start all over again. Bo's taken on some projects like the Lake Community Center where he's at right now, redid the kitchen and redid some stuff. Actually, oversaw the redoing of the whole facility itself. That'd be a great pictorial, Beau, from where you started there. It's an old converted movie theater. And actually, my old office was the projection room. I can't remember I think Beau's office was just a storage. But the things that has Lake Elsinore and Beau and the team has been able to do has done some pretty incredible things. Across the street, we had a jail cell, the prison, basically, courthouse. And now is the Dream Extreme Neighborhood Center. So being able to reuse the senior center where Priscilla was a trailer park rec center, and now thanks to Priscilla and to Julie, who put on some really incredible programs, just busting at the seams right now. And so they're looking at things. We're coming close to the end of our time, but you know what I want to touch on, Beau, is the work that you and Ben have done with Christensen Park, and also with the master plan. That was a huge thing that when Beau and I started in 2014, they had one that was done in 2008, and it really hadn't been activated. So talk a little bit about the master plan project and where it's at right now.
Yeah, I think everyone that would be watching this understands the importance of having a vision and having a direction. And, with the master plan and redoing it with we had some amazing partners with Barry Dunn. There's numerous great consultants out there, so you likely won't go wrong choosing anyone, but we really worked out well with our partners and Barry Dunn and getting us there. We used, it's, right there behind me, and it's out front. Maybe it's not on my working desk every single day, but it's there for me to be able to easily grab and review at any time we're kind of looking forward. And actually, we're putting it into play now. There's a new development coming in, and we're trying to condition some of the parkland that they've set aside, and they were wanting just some passive parks. And I was like, no, absolutely not passive parks. Our master plan tells us exactly what we need and what the community wants. And so working closely with our community development team, they're all in on some of these crazy ideas we got. So we're excited to see how that will transition in the next few years. And then, of course, Christensen Park, that's a project that it was a new park, fairly newer park. And we had this idea that what if it turned into a special needs complex? And so Ben, we got some funding, and Ben was a project lead on that, as well as our master plan. And so we received our 100%, engineering plans. And so now it's just about identifying funding. It's ready. It's ready to go. So if there is a grant or something available, we'll be ready to execute. So it's important to even though you don't have the funding to build whatever you're trying to do or do all these great things in this master plan, get it done. So when the time comes, when that grant opens up, you're ready. You have all the documents to go. So you can apply for that grant, and they'll see that this is a real shovel-ready project if they have the funding. So I highly recommend identifying those projects, investing a little bit of money into getting them planned or to a stage that you'll be able to apply for a grant and then execute them should you get it.
Yeah, one thing that's great about Ben, when he came on, we were talking about this, and he says, you know what, I don't want it to be a coffee table book. A lot of times you do a master plan or you do some type of project or something like that, and you don't look forward, and it ends up being a coffee table book because nothing ever gets done. And so when Ben and Beau really took on the master plan, they were looking at we're going to be doing this, whether we're here or somebody else is here. We have the next 10 years to get some of these things done. And so it's a working document. It's just not something that sits there. So, Beau, we came on, we're like, okay, I got things I want to talk to Beau about and everything, but we're coming to the end of our time. So if you can put it in one word, one sentence, leadership and the ability to give individuals opportunities, what would you say?
I think it's trust. I think you really got to trust that your intuition in an individual into an employee and their intuition is the right direction. Of course, there's that verify element of it, but it's trust. Like, let people breathe, let people experience the failures. It's okay to fail. It's just then you learn and you keep moving forward. And that's our city manager, super great at that. Hey, that didn't work. I'm not gonna reprimand you. Like, you're not in trouble for trying something and failing. We learn from it and we move forward. So it's really about trusting your team, trusting your own intuition, their intuition. You hire the right person. The right person's there. They have all the steps. Like you always say, you did the 5 W's. They got all that. Then, all right, let's run with it, and we'll adapt and pivot whenever need be. But trust them.
Oh, that's so true. That's so true. So, Beau, thank you so much. I'm going to have you back on so we can get some updates. We didn't even get to talk about City Hall and new library and everything like that. But thank you so much for your time today. I'm going to see Beau a little bit later on a personal thing. We have a house that we're working on, but thank you so much, Beau. So, everybody,
hey, can I say?
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you for not showing the swimming aquatics video. I thought for sure you're going to put that in there. So thank you.
Guys,
Baywatch Beau today, ladies and gentlemen. So
next time he's on, so when you see he's on next time, I will actually bring Baywatch Beau, and I'll just leave it with that. So listen, you guys, thank you so much. For next week's show, I have a friend of mine, if you can bring that up. We went to school together in Lompoc, California. This is Brad J. Brad is a professional commentator, so he does X Sports, X Games, and everything like that. Actually, he lives in California, but also in El Salvador. He's going to be on talking about X Games and sports, because the city of Lake Elsinore is what, Beau? The city of Dream Extreme.
Dream Extreme.
And Dream Extreme is what we do, is what they do. So he'll be on next week. Coming up after this, you saw his name on the board. We have the world famous Wesley, the Aquaman King, with the aquatics life. They'll have Julia on. They'll talk all things aquatics. He's really good at not only looking at just your recreation programs, but also, a guy like me who loves to fish and everything like that. So listen, I want to thank you guys for being here. Hopefully you'll be here next week to see our show with Brad. As I end the show all the time, go out and make a memory, because that's what we do. Everybody have a good day, and we'll talk to you later. Take it away, Carlo.
It's not just water. It's responsibility. It's leadership. It's not just drowning prevention or water safety. It's life. And every day, aquatics professionals make decisions that save lives. Because aquatics is more than swim lessons. It's community, it's creativity, it's impact. For over 30 years, aquatics hasn't just been my profession, it's been my life. I've seen the challenges, the pressure, the grind, but I've also seen the power of great leadership and what happens when communities come together. This is where education meets entertainment, where real conversations happen, where aquatics professionals come together to learn, lead, and grow. Because aquatics should bring people together. This is Aquatics Life, streaming on DPRS Media Network.
In the parks and recreation industry, attention is limited, but influence is everything. Every day, thousands of parks and recreation professionals make critical decisions. decisions on infrastructure, programs, technology, and vendors. The question is your brand part of that conversation? DPRS Media Network was built to answer that question. We are a dedicated media ecosystem focused exclusively on the parks and recreation industry in the United States. Through a network of daily and weekly shows, we inform, connect, and influence this audience. Our distribution spans multiple platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, plus email campaigns, newsletters, podcasts, and live event coverage. This is not a single-channel strategy. It is a multi-platform media engine. Today, our network reaches over 214,000 connections, including 51,000 on LinkedIn, 64,000 on Facebook, nearly 40,000 email subscribers, and thousands more across podcast and social platforms. While some audiences overlap, our true value is not just reach, it is relevance. We speak directly to parks and recreation directors, program managers, and industry leaders, an audience that is highly targeted and actively engaged. Through DPRS Media Network, your brand integrates seamlessly into this ecosystem. Through sponsored show segments, targeted advertisement placements, podcast features, and host-read promotions, even custom branded content. Not as interruptions, but as part of the conversation. And we don't just operate online. We attend over 15 major parks and recreation conventions each year, reaching more than 24,000 professionals in person. Through live shows, interviews, and on-site media coverage, we position our partners at the center of the industry. Every piece of content we produce is amplified across our entire network. Multiple shows, multiple hosts, multiple platforms. Your message doesn't appear once, it multiplies. This is more than advertising. It is strategic positioning within a trusted media network built specifically for the parks and recreation industry. If your goal is to reach decision makers, build credibility, and stay top of mind, then it's time to partner with DPRS Media Network. Apply for partnership or sponsorship today. Let's position your brand where the industry is already paying attention.